Hey, it's me, Ashley Keller Williams Everett here in Washington. So if you're new to my channel, please like and subscribe. I put out a lot of super duper valuable content. I do want to do a little bit of a plug here. I'm getting ready to do an awesome series for people that are in the market to buy a house. Okay, awesome series. All right, so that is coming your way. But today I want to do a market update. So I was pulling some stats and looking at some numbers. You know, I'm like really up here in kind of like the historic North Everett area. And man, December was crazy. Okay, like now, why was it crazy? Okay, why was it crazy? Well, I mean, I think that all of my suspicions were kind of confirmed. I mean, we didn't really have much inventory up here. And when I went and I pulled the stats, it was like, boom, 0.3 months of supply. Okay, that is ridiculous. 0.3 months, okay? That is down 70% from last year, okay? Down 70% from last year. I mean, that is huge, okay? So what does that mean? What does that really mean? Like, let's just like kind of like dissect that a little bit. 0.3 months supply. I mean, what that really means is like really crazy seller skewed market, basically. That means that, you know, pretty much whatever goes on is pretty likely to sell. Now, you know, the things that are kind of playing against sellers that kind of went on the market at that time is what we have. You know, we have a lot of historic houses up here. So, I mean, if you're just kind of putting up like, you know, whatever house, you know, it's likely that, you know, maybe you didn't get an offer, okay? You know, what does it mean for buyers? Well, it means that, you know, it's likely that if a nice house came on during that time, you were, you know, in a really competitive situation because there were just so few houses. I mean, I think you could like literally count them on your two hands, like the number of houses that were available. So what that usually translates into is really nice changes in the amount that you could sell your house for. And that was definitely reflected here. So I mean, both in the median and average sales price. So in the median sales price, there was an increase of 8.5% compared to last year, which is, you know, pretty good. I mean, that is above what is sort of expected as far as appreciation. And similarly with the average sales price, it was up 10.6%. 10.6%. I mean, you know, on our average price point up here, which is sort of in like the higher 300s, I mean, that could be like $36,000. That could be, you know, 40,000 bucks. All right. So that's pretty sweet. Okay. You know, the other thing to kind of consider, you know, I like to kind of keep this very balanced. I mean, I think it's a great time to go on the market. I think for buyers, what I would expect to see here in the next couple of months is a real strong increase in the amount of available inventory. Now, when I say strong increase, I mean, I don't think we're going to go all the way to like, you know, a balanced market. We're not going to go like 4 months supply. All right. But we might end up with, you know, maybe 1.5 months supply, which is nice. I mean, that gives you something to kind of look at, especially if you're in the market to look for a house. For sellers, I mean, this is great news. This is awesome news for you. This means that when you put your house on the market, especially if you've got a really nice house, you would expect for it to sell and for it to sell at a pretty competitive price. I mean, you may be looking potentially at a double-digit, you know, percentage return compared to the previous year. You know, what's kind of playing into that? Well, you know, rates are still really good. And this lack of inventory, I think, are the two big pieces here. I'm going to just kind of briefly touch on the condo market. I mean, we have condos up here, and, you know, what we saw was, you know, a nice increase, you know, actually in the amount of supply available compared to the previous year. I mean, we were up to 1.2 months supply, which is so funny. I mean, you know, 0.2. I mean, it's still very low. Okay. I mean, that is still very much a seller's market. It's still very much a seller's market. And I think if you're a buyer, you know, buying into that market, I mean, you just have to expect it to be pretty tough as far as competition and perhaps getting your offer accepted. The other thing that we noticed with the condos is they also had increases. So both the median and average sales price went up. The average sales price went up 11.3%, and the median went up 14%. I mean, that's amazing. That's some amazing numbers there. Okay, so yeah, I'm really excited. We're heading right into 2020, and I think this year is going to be great. I mean, this year is going to be amazing. I think both for buyers and sellers. I mean, I think if you're looking to buy a house, I mean, let's get together and sort of figure out what you're looking for, so that when that perfect listing comes on the market, we're like right there, boom. And for those who have been thinking about, oh, maybe I should sell my house, this is a great time. I mean, I think the light is green, all right? Like, if you've been kind of like, well, maybe the market's going to get bad, or maybe it's going to go down, or maybe it could go up more. It's a great time, because you know what is happening down in Seattle? I mean, the contagion spreads, okay? I mean, what's happening down in Seattle, where you're getting like, people having to do price reduction after price reduction and all that stuff, and the market's pulling back really strong there. You don't want to get caught up in that. If you're considering selling, like, let's get together, let's put together a strategy, let's get you on the market, let's get your house looking great, and get that, the highest price and the fast sale, and get you handled. So that's all I've got for my market update. Please check out my website, ashleybolden.com, and also find me on Facebook. Find me on Facebook, like the video, subscribe. See you again soon, YouTube.